welcome back to the channel. Food. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe with 5 videos like this.
Have you heard the theory that President Lincoln was assassinated by the Rothschilds?
Oh, yeah.
The Rothschilds, they were basically sold the Confederate banknotes in Europe. So they're supporting the Confederates.
No way.
Because Abraham Lincoln wanted to get rid of the European banking system and make it the U.S. banking system.
The craziest thing about the Civil War that nobody ever talks about was Russia's role in the Civil War. And what happened was that the Russians had just kicked the Rothschilds out, the banking cabal out. And they had heard that, you know, basically they were trying to do the same thing in America. And Alexander, I think it was, actually sent Russian Navy to our borders. And you can actually see pictures of Russian troops with Northern troops as well. And that's a big reason because Spain, France, and Britain were about to come in on the side of the South.
I mean, this is adding up to the Rothschild banking system. Don't learn that in elementary school.
Not a chance. That's wild.
All history is a lie.
Yeah, I mean, it's written by the winners, right?
It's written by the winners, and it's there to basically form a group agreement that these people are the good guys and these people are the bad guys, and that's just how it's been done. And when everyone goes, dude, is everything a conspiracy? 100%.
Watch this shit. You see that? Okay. Hold the up.
That is exactly
What the
That's why I do this, because it's the only way I feel like I can actually do it.
What?
Is that all scripted and fake?
No, 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 no. Thank you. Oh my God. Oh my God.
They say there's like 8,000 satellites floating around space.
Ain't no space. Gang ain't no space.
Is there air?
Not like they say, air is information. So, yes, but no.
So what's under the water? What's an ocean?
Good you asked that. Now, what separates everything is water, right? So you think it's like this. So it's like this. So look at, imagine, I wish I could show you, but imagine this. Everything like this, place, water, another firmament, place, what they call it the 7 layers of heaven. What they call it, the 7 layers of heaven, something like that. But it's like all kind of water and shit between it. And there's different layers, how they keep them stacked up like dominoes. It's like God keeps us, right? The prison, it's a jail cell. Gang, we live in a cell, in a prison, and we stacked up on top of each other in bunks. I swear, a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't know, but it's the truth. Look it up.
I think guys are gonna let my hair grow.
Yeah, listen. We up.
can see nothing.
Getting ready to get in a customer's car. Look at this.
After about 200 years, a bloodline will just die out because they're infertile from so much inbreeding. And so they would just take a cadet family, one of the other branches, and they'd plug them in. And so it was the same bloodline. But if you look at the Habsburgs, they all have strawberry blonde hair. It's reddish blonde. And there's a Pope, Orsini, who had reddish blonde hair. And I think he was involved in the Habsburg line. Another one is Bill Clinton's mother, who was the illegitimate child of Winthrop Rockefeller, who was governor of Arkansas. That's why Clinton was president, and now Hillary Clinton. She's actually, her middle name was Rodham. I looked it up, and it was shortened from Rodonsky, and she's from a Jewish family in Rodonsky, Poland. They keep rebreeding the ancient stock. The Chi in Italian, like Medici. Yeah, Chi means the stock, the bloodline you're from, or the tribe. It means DNA is what it means, and it's always through the female. It's not through the male. It's through the.
And that's why they're hiding by modifying their surnames.
So I was shopping in the Dollar General. It's 4:15 in the afternoon, and I had to use the restroom, so I was using the restroom. While in there, the electricity goes out. So I finish up in the restroom and come out, and the employees have left and locked the door. And I have no way to get out. And to make matters worse, I have Verizon, and Verizon is out in our entire town. So, what should I do? Hello? Yeah, no, not a single soul. And I guess they couldn't set the alarm due to the electricity being out. All right, I'm spending the night.
Oh my God. Oh, what was that? Nobody here. I hope it was just a draft, because you see, there is no wall. Oh my God. I hope there is no ghost. Guys, what do you think? Oh my goodness.
Can someone explain to me why it's the beginning of August and the leaves are already starting to change colors and fall from the trees? Now, the weird thing about this is last year it was around the end of November and all the trees were all still green. None of the leaves had started to fall yet. If you follow me, then you have to remember when I made those videos, because I was just questioning, what time of the year was it? And right now, in the middle of summer, we have trees already starting to turn yellow and orange, and the leaves are already starting to fall. And it's not even fall yet. I would say this one I don't have a clue about, but I understand a pole shift. See, you all don't know what a pole is. It's not what you think it is. I told you what we live on. And go look up pole, P-O-L-L. And you'll know what's shifting.
Weather manipulation.
Hello, people. Look, I am in the Galilee Sea. Look, the water is red, like blood. Look at the water. This is a very, very bad omen.
Yeah, you know, it's even more weird is if you take a picture of a $1 bill on the back.
It looks like an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, you actually you turn the contrast all the way up. And yeah, the contrast reveals an alien head and the face, the eyes, everything. It's kind of genius. What's in your pocket?
Yeah, Roswell.
And not to mention the Star of David on its forehead.
That's a store display that's only triggered by motion.
And who need a job so bad?
Check this out. These are contact lenses that let you see in the dark. They're like night vision goggles without needing the goggles. And it gets even crazier because these lenses let you see even when your eyes are completely closed. It's pretty insane. Now, this was a massive breakthrough by a research lab in China. And the way it all works is super interesting. The contacts are coated with special nanoparticles that absorb infrared light. That's the part of the spectrum our human eyes can't normally see. But here's the big innovation. Those nanoparticles can then convert that invisible light into visible waves that we can see, essentially letting us see in the dark. Now, the contacts are clear, so you can still see normally, but you also have this super secret power to read hidden messages. And here's where it gets even crazier. The people that tried these said it was even easier to read secret messages when their eyes were closed. So in theory, someone could transmit an invisible message, and as long as you were facing in their direction, even if your eyes were closed, you could read it. Pretty insane. The Chinese lab said the first version of these is only gonna cost $200. And I don't know about you, but I could see these being everywhere.
I'm assuming that was the payment for the food.
And I'm going to use pirate patches over that. Hopefully I'll be able to see still. And then, okay. And then here is a mask. So here's this, very hard to see anything out of this mask.
And since you're doing this,
Total blackout.
while we're talking, as you're putting these layers on, you can still you're still seeing in like normal vision.
So until I put a mask on, I don't see. It totally makes me blind.
Wow, that's such a fascinating.
Okay, so I'm gonna try one more mask. I just got this mask today. I don't know if this is gonna work. If it doesn't, I'll just take it off.
Okay, that's fine. I mean,
yeah, I can. Oh man, it's a little hard to see with this one, but I can still see. I can do it.
You can? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a little hard, but I can do it.
Okay.
Because it's kind of squeezing my head, but I'll take it off if the window's closed.
No, take it off. Don't worry about it.
Well, let's try it first,
okay,
and then I'll
okay.
take it off.
Okay. Let's see if you can read what this says.
It says angels and aliens.
Correct. I'm sorry. Are you seeing that backwards or?
No, it's clear.
Okay. Okay, let's see what. Oh, wow. I mean, that's fascinating to me.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that says CE5 Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
Yeah. Okay.
And that says the wisdom codes. Oh man, there's some small writing there. If I take off this one, I could probably see it, but oh, okay. It says ancient words to rewire our brains and heal our hearts.
This is a fascinating book by if anybody's watching. Okay, here. Let's try this.
So that is, what are that, trees with some beautiful sky, like rainbow color sky. It's dark though. It's like a night sky.
Yeah, my daughter drew that.
Like snowy.
Yes, yes.
Yes, you tell her she's a great artist.
Yeah, here.
And that is a sunset on the like the ocean.
Wow.
And it has a nice, beautiful pink sky or orangey sky.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I'm just so fascinated with this, and I mean, to some extent, we're on an honor system here. I can't see through your blindfolds, but it's I just want to, so anybody watching this channel and takes me seriously, I
So
absolutely.
you can look
believe-
under here. You can see that I can't see anything. My eyes are not exposed at all.
Yeah, that I believe this is absolutely genuine. I don't think that she has some kind of small, even okay, I want to paint
Here's
this picture.
making sure I don't have any kind of.
Yeah.
Someone said that at contact that I had something in my ear. It was my mic.
Hillshire Farm. You need to explain yourself. What the heck is inside this kielbasa? Like, I have no clue what the heck this is in here. Ew. You can clearly see numbers and letters.
Coming back into the Truman Show, right at the beginning of the movie, he comes out of his house, and you'll notice the number of his house is actually 36. So 36. And then not long after, his other little neighbor waves at him, and he's getting ready for work, and this light falls from the sky and smashes in front of him. And it is a light from a movie, set. And on that light, the light happens to be blue, and it says Sirius with the number 9 and then Canis Major. This is actually the most important part of the entire plot of the movie, is right at the beginning when that light falls down, because that light falling down is the moment that Truman starts to question his reality. It's the exact moment where something shifts in him that he's like, well, that doesn't seem right, or that doesn't really feel like, something feels off to him. And if you look at the light being blue and the name of it being Canis Major is the Sirius star system. And the fact that they named the light that falls to essentially spark his awakening Sirius is so spot on for what's happening right now in our own kind of astrological reality. So to kind of create context for that, in the ancient astrological teachings, the sun and Sirius are a binary lover pair. When we have stars that are binary pairs, that means that they have an interrelationship between magnetism and electricity. Right? That means they have some kind of deep interconnection that has a creative aspect, that they're actually creating something together, which is beautiful. And also, if I remember, I told you the number of Truman's house was 36 and the number of the light was 9. So right there off the get-go, 369. the secrets of the universe have been revealed within the first 5 minutes of the Truman Show. Okay. So the fact that that light comes down perfectly lines up with the astrological calendar. Now, it's said that every single time that the Sirius star system approaches the sun and gets close, we have what's called a golden age or an awakening of humanity. The Greeks called it the apocalypse, which means the great revealing. And some might say that we've actually all as a collective been living in Plato's cave for several thousands of years, maybe potentially up to 18,000 years if we go back to the last great cataclysm of Atlantis. Now, that star Sirius in every single teaching, whether it's the Freemasons, they call it the North Star. When you wish upon a star, that old children's song is about Sirius. It's always been, it's in the Akkadian flag. It was the star that guided them forward, and it's the star that gives hope. It's also in the tarot card, the actual card called the Star, which is meant to what? Bring hope for humanity, right? Bring hope for humanity. And if you even just look at the tarot card as your reference for what Sirius really means, and its rulership is actually Aquarius. Modern Western astrology will tell you that Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is only partially true in the lower octaves. But in the higher octaves of reality, the star system of Sirius is the greatest contributor to the archetype of Aquarius, which is that which liberates humanity from illusion. Okay, so the star that liberates humanity from illusion comes close to the sun, and then we get this great awakening moment. And you'll notice the sun is getting hotter right now.
369, if you know, you know.
Free 1979, here at 1987, free 1980, transcendence one, free 1981, inhabitants 64, free 1986, Page 137, free 1983, Article 28, free 1984.
He's given me the grace to have a hunger and a thirst and a desire for him like I've never had before. And so during this time, he's really been sharing with me a lot of things and uncovering a lot of things in my life that are just not okay with him. And so one of the things that has come up is Spelman College and the covenant that I made with the demon that is operating behind Spelman College, and the demonic covenants that are there, and all of the rituals and all of the things that are going on. I'll say that, you know, going to Spelman College, now a lot of people know what Spelman College is, right? It's claimed to be one of the most illustrious, you know, female Black women colleges in the nation or in the world, really, right? And so it's very sought after, very prestigious in the Black community and in many communities.
Do you understand how crazy it is that this is the case? That your kindergarten teachers are unknowingly responsible for making you think a place on Earth is freezing cold, covered in ice, when it actually isn't? You look at maps and satellite imagery all the time. Siberia is green, and it's warm. It doesn't even register in your head that a place twice the size of the United States and way more comfortable, temperate, is supposedly inhabited by only 0.3% of the population? Yeah, of course it doesn't register. That's by design. Because Siberia and the archipelagos that surround it are never supposed to find. Because when you look past all the History Channel specials, when you look beneath the unspoken beauty, inside the bomb craters they filled with water and called natural lakes. And underneath the railway scars and crumbling ruins, you'll find the bones of entire civilizations and the fractured components of the old world command terminal that once unified the conscious frequency and stabilized the harmonic field.
Most people have never heard of John Yarker, and those who have usually skip his legacy, but this man wasn't just a Freemason. He was a guardian of outlawed rights and a spiritual contraband dealer of forgotten mysteries. Born in 1833, Yarker didn't chase prestige. He wasn't interested in watered-down masonry or hollow rituals. He wanted the source, the unbroken chain, and he found it, buried in ancient rites most lodges had already abandoned. While others went up in hierarchy, Yarker went sideways, deep into the abyss. He preserved the rite of Memphis Mizraim, a blend of hermetic, Kabbalistic, Egyptian, and alchemical symbols, stretching over 90 degrees, not fake Hollywood stuff, real initiatory architecture. He believed that Masonry wasn't about fraternal dinners. It was about rebuilding the temple of the soul through arcane memory. He also initiated some controversial figures like, yes, even Aleister Crowley, which made him infamous in elite circles. Yarker knew the Western world would reject the real mysteries, so he encoded them, protected them, and passed them forward in silence like an occult smuggler through time. He once wrote, "There is no death to the soul, it is light encased in shadow." So next time someone tells you Masonry is about ceremony and suits, remember about John Yarker, the man who refused to forget.
Outstanding.
You guys, this is not time-lapse, manipulated video. This is actually live right now. The camera every once in a while moving around too, but that is a lot of lightning. And that's been happening, accompanying winds of 60, 70, even up to 90 miles an hour in the eastern part of Nebraska. So unfortunately, I was just checking on the power outage situation. We're talking about, about 18,000 customers that are all of a sudden without power across Nebraska due to these powerful storms. So yeah, lightning is just one indication of how bad this weather is. You can see
Our Wendigos real?
Hey, 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 sit. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah.
We met in a Freemason lodge, and the initiation was a black robe. The ritual, a sword was held to my neck that I had to swear an oath that I could never talk about it, or I was giving spiritual powers.
A real sword.
A real sword, yeah. They take a lot from the Bible, tried to make the Masonic lodge like the tabernacle or the temple. They take some parts from Catholic Mass, repeating things in Latin, and it's very ritualistic. At one time we went for 8 hours, I believe, or maybe even more. In one day, met at the Masonic lodge for a day of basically learning and practicing ceremonial magic, which included the invocation of deities, like one invocation of goddess Isis, which is a demon. We had to bow down on our knees and our face to a golden idol of Isis.
In the Masonic temple.
In the Masonic temple.
I was born with the ability to see in various dimensions, one of which was to see the memories in a person's mind. I could always see energy. I could see beyond a tree or a chair. I could see past events and I could see future events. And I thought this was absolutely normal. But then I realized that it wasn't normal. In 1969, at a bowling alley, I was 6 years old and I'm sitting there, all the parents are bowling. And this guy comes up to me and he says, "You can see what's in the corner of that room, can't you?" And he said, "I'm going to show you how to control it. There are others just like you." This person would later be known as my uncle. Later, I would find out he was in a secret society called the Brotherhood. And that was the beginning of me being brought into this organization called the Brotherhood, which is a true secret society.
You think that I could be an Illuminati member?
I think you potentially could be an Illuminati member, Dr. Phil. I don't think that you get this amount of power and influence and media coverage without taking a deal.
With who?
The Illuminati. They would come and say, "Dr. Phil, we can offer you all the money, we can offer you power, we can offer you influence. You just need to take a deal with us."
Could I be wearing a mask?
You could. Could I get up and look?
No, how are you going to look?
I'm just gonna...
Yeah, go ahead. What do you think?
I think that the technology is so advanced.
Let me tell you, sister, if I was wearing a mask, it wouldn't look like this.
I mean, if you think about it, it kind of looks like a reptile. Look at this. Look at this reptile. Let's see this. You can't tell me that ain't got reptile on it, man. That's like that look. He's got that look. Look at that eye. You know that little lizard eye? That one eye that's like looking everywhere because he's looking for the next fly to catch. Nope, he caught one.
And every day they try us.
There's actually 3 Elons. The first Elon comes from a Nazi family, and he's part human, part cyborg. Again, this was an Elon that was developed by the Dark Fleet. Remember the first secret space program that was established by the Nazis and the evil aliens known as the Draconians? Yeah. So that's the first Elon.
That's when you saw him doing the signal, right? That was that one?
That was that one. Yeah. That's from a Nazi background. The second Elon is a clone of that. And due to this war between the Y-Hats and the Cabal, there has been a third Elon that was actually biogenetically engineered in a petri dish to do good, to work as the good Elon. So there's 3 Elons.
That's the Twitter one.
Yeah. That's the one that's free speech, working with Donald Trump to, through Doge to unravel all this, federal spending to, reveal the truth about the corruption. And so that's known as the third Elon. So there are 3 Elon Musk. I know a lot of people are going to look at this or hear this podcast and be like, what do you mean there's 3 Elons? Well, you have to understand that within the private sector, we have had cloning technology for a long time. We have had advanced alien technology.
Check this out. The bag is melting. It is literally
melting.
Keep it there. It is melting. Coming off the reflection from this window right here.
Take a video.
That is
Yeah,
crazy.
fine, yeah.
Have you noticed? The sun is just getting hotter.
He never graduated from elementary school. He couldn't read or write, yet he was the inventor of countless medical life-saving devices. The original software that Siri, that IBM used for voice recognition was developed from something that he created, yet he couldn't read or write. You're like, well, that's kind of weird, right? So he was tested at the University of Utah as the highest IQ at the time that they had ever tested, one of the highest in the world. And I sat down with him and he said, Paul, he said, you could have an IQ over 200 if you wanted. I'm like, no, I'm really not that smart, right? I worked really hard for my grades. I didn't even get a scholarship. I said, plus I don't think you can change your IQ, right? That's something you're kind of born with. We're all either somewhat smart, not smart, whatever, right? He said, no, he said, the difference between me and you is that I listen better than you. I said, what, you listen better than me? I touched my ear. He said, no, I listen better than you. And he touched his heart. And I was still super confused. I said, I don't understand what you're talking. He said, do you think that I'm the inventor of those medical devices? I'm like, you own the patents, right? He goes, yeah, I do. I said, you're not the inventor? He goes, well, no, I'm not. I said, what, you stole them? He said, well, kind of. He said, tell me this, Paul. He said, how long has the universe been around? I'm like, well, millions of years. He said, billions upon billions of years. He said, those medical devices were invented billions of years ago. I was a better listener than you.
There was a break in Freemasonry in the 1700s. What happened is the schism was between the ones who actually know what alchemy is and the ones who don't know but think they know. And the ones that do know broke off and said, no, we can't have any more to do with these guys. They're not good people. And they went underground. That's where Fulcanelli comes from, this group. And the other group became the Illuminati. They took over the world. The first group found out the plans of the bad group. This secret group, this hidden group, contacts us through telepathic means because that's the only way they can operate without getting caught. They come into your certain people and they have a giant influence on them. And they make things happen. That's how they operate. And right now, they're operating on total overtime. The good guys are using the technology of the bad guys to spread the word about what this universe really is. And the war is really heating up, and the bad guys are feeling the heat, and they don't understand where this is all coming from, how people can suddenly know things that they shouldn't know, and all of that. And that's where this is coming from. And I have a couple of very strange experiences where I believe I was contacted by this group and they want me to do everything I can to get all this shit out.
Trabajador de Pemex graba una extraña entidad en un árbol.
These the 33% that fell at Mount Hermon on the 33rd parallel. That's why you get the number 33 all over the place all the time. And there are people who worship these entities. And so anytime they do something, it's going to be in the name of 33 or in the number. It has going to have something to do with the number 33. Like all these wars in the Middle East, all of them, Baghdad, Iraq, 33rd parallel, Kabul, Afghanistan, 33rd parallel. The war in Israel with Gaza, 33rd parallel. It's Damascus, Syria, 33rd parallel. The bombs at Nagasaki and Hiroshima, 33rd parallel. Over and over and over. It's like they're having to, it's like some sort of homage, if you will, to the 33rd, to the fallen angels, right? And so, or at least that's what I think. And so everything they do has to be in the number 33.
Have you heard about what's going on in Idaho in the northwestern United States? Because a lot more people should be talking about this right now. Over the course of the last month now, I've noticed locals from all over the northwestern United States showing huge cracks appearing in the ground. Now these cracks, and you can find many videos of them, especially with farmers that have been tracking a lot of them and how long they stretch, almost every single time stretch for miles, and I mean literally miles. But the weirdest part is that people for weeks, if not months now, have been hearing loud booms underground, a lot of times specifically next to where these cracks are appearing. And a farmer actually used a device that estimated how deep some of these cracks go. In one area that stretched up to at least 4 football fields long, the cracks went down over 100 feet deep. Not just that, but I noticed that they used a camera to go down into the cracks as well. And when they did, they noticed a lot of different tunnel ways going back and forth inside of the cracks. Some of which they're saying allegedly stretch to different large areas that have cracks in the ground as well. Not just that, but there's a creator that's on TikTok that's been tracking these for a while, and he actually used a camera of his own to go down into these cracks just much deeper. And when he got near the bottom, he discovered that there is a shit ton of mud and water underneath. Now, while the mud might be expected, that is an excessive amount of water. I'm sure everybody's aware by now of what happened with Africa. But regardless, if you live in the northwestern United States and you have any of these cracks that are appearing, please get in touch with me. Because I want to put as much information as I possibly can out there, because let's be honest, this is kind of serious.
Waters above, waters below.
Because we can't launch any rocket from Earth that would intercept this object. It's moving too fast relative to Earth in the opposite direction of the motion of Earth around the sun.
You wrote that if this three-eye atlas is a technological artifact, it could be evidence of the dark forest hypothesis. What is that?
That's one of the solutions to Fermi's paradox, which is the question, where is everybody? And of course, it's possible that aliens are out there, but they are worried about predators, and therefore they're silent, as if they are in a dark forest. And if they see a civilization like ours, a young technological civilization that gets more powerful over time, and they're listening to us, they might send a probe or a spacecraft on a reconnaissance mission or with some other goals. And we should be ready for that. We should monitor the sky and be aware of that potential possibility. And just ignoring it is not intelligent on our behalf.
Scientists captured a 7-mile large object that is heading toward Earth. They named this AI Atlas. Is this object a meteor? No, thank you. Was this object created by an extraterrestrial civilization? Yes, thank you. Is AI Atlas a spaceship? Yes, thank you. Is AI Atlas considered to be a mothership? No, thank you. Are there ETs or extraterrestrials on board? Yes, thank you. Are these ETs the Anunnaki? Yes, thank you. Are there other beings on board as well? Yes, thank you. Whoa. Are they part of the Galactic Federation? Excellent. Yes, thank you. Is it being intelligently guided through our solar system? Yes, thank you.
The cult of the Black Cube, better known as the Saturn Death Cult. The global elite worships the dark side of the planet Saturn and uses occult symbols in modern institutions, and it's been going on since creation.
Yeah.
Basically started with the fallen angels, and it all revolves around the god Saturn. But this god is also the god Baal, the god Molech.
Oh gosh.
And is prevalent in basically every ancient and modern satanic.
Saturn is Satan.
They think it translates from Satan. And the astrology Capricorn, the primary thing in that is Saturn, which is a goat. But the black cube, I'm like, where's the black cube come into this? There's like this dark spot on the top of Saturn that is in the shape of a hexagon. And if you take the hexagon and you make it a three-dimensional, it makes a cube. What was crazy, if you go to basically any major financial district, they all have a monument of a black cube.
No way.
They believe that they're able to tap into this realm or this deity to be able to enslave the masses. And so the Federal Reserve was based off of that. So it would be slave to debt. JP Morgan, very involved in the Federal Reserve, he has this quote, millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do.
I've never heard that one.
But one thing I immediately popped in my head was BlackRock.
Literally.
They are the number one
Gosh, yeah.
It's literally in plain
corporation that have the majority wealth in the world.
Ghost AI.
Oh, so we just go ignore how the Jetsons predicted the future? This cartoon debuted in 1962. Them boys was already rocking the smartwatches in 1962, bro. Talking on it and everything, just like people do to this day. And don't forget about the flat TVs. In 1962, they already had the idea of flat TVs, bro. His wife is looking at a flat TV. She even got the ones that's hanging coming down, just like the ones in the gym. And don't forget about the voice-activated Alexa, the same Alexa that we listening to today with the voice. Yeah, that was in the Jetsons. They was even doing FaceTime. They already had the idea of the video chat since 1962, bro. And if you look at the intro, you will see they got FaceTime portable devices. Look at these boys. They look like guns, right? But these are portable devices. They FaceTiming somebody. Look at the other dude. That's a portable device, FaceTiming somebody. Look at this dude right here, FaceTiming. So these are basically tablets, bro. They already knew and had the idea before it even came about. What the hell she got on? Bro, why her legs and her body look like a damn Tootsie Roll lollipop? I'm gone. Wait a minute. She snatched his whole wallet, bro. Girl, you know damn well they ain't gonna be using no cash in 2060.
Elon Musk's grandfather was Joshua Haldeman, who was a bigwig in something called Technocracy Inc., which got shut down. He wanted to create a society in which there were no politicians, there were no elections, there were appointed technocrats and bureaucrats. And he was a big supporter, it seems, of Hitler. The Technocracy Inc. produced a map, what they call a technate, and it went from the north of South America, including Venezuela, which Trump is very focused on, Panama, Mexico, United States, Canada, and Greenland, which is kind of extraordinary when you see what's happening with current events. When Technocracy Inc. was shut down in Canada, he went to South Africa, and he's a big supporter of apartheid. Elon Musk, born in South Africa. David Sachs, the AI czar of Trump, born in South Africa. Peter Thiel, massive connections to South Africa and to what is now Namibia. Another guy called Botha was related to Pik Botha, the last foreign minister of the apartheid regime. And then they all come together in America, together.
But in 3470 BC, the Galactic Federation, you know, our buddies that are putting out books now and they have a website and stuff, well, these guys were behind the Master Race program. They decided that, yes, we'll combine both the Jehovian Anunnaki and we'll combine the Anu-Seraphim Anunnaki hybrids, and we'll combine the Draconian hybrids, and we'll make a Master Race, and we'll go raid every one of the 12 tribes of the angelic humans. But in order to do this, there was something interesting that was taking place. The Magi races that managed to survive despite the persecution, most of them had ended up in exile here. They had gone to Lohas Atlantis because that was one of the last holdouts of the Magi races and of the angelic human 12 tribes. They'd come here to hide because they were being persecuted in Egypt. They were being persecuted in the main centers were Egypt and in the Florida area where Brewa Atlantis was, and Africa. All these areas were beginning to be infiltrated by the hybrid races under control of the fallen angelic races, who were now forming agreements through the Galactic Federation, who claimed to be our buddies and at times have worked to assist the Guardian Alliance, and then broke the Emerald Covenant again. In 3470 BC, they initiated more of the frequency disrupt of that grid that I showed you, that's the checkerboard matrix. That was already in place. And what that did at that point was cut the grids by 1/3. It slowed Earth's rotational speed by 1/3. It cut 1/3 of the chromosomes off in the DNA. It cut 1/3 of the grids, the energy running through its grids down. Well, they went from 1/3 to 2/3 cut down. Out of, there's something called, I'll just explain it this way because it applies all the way through the planetary grids, but I think it's easiest to understand in terms of a DNA strand.
Voodoo is real. And that's a wrap on this episode, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me. Smash the subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.